Hey guys, welcome back. Gonna be working on Mr. Jones here. Need to do a compression test and some other stuff. The other day, had a little mess right here. So that's coming out of the exhaust. The exhaust dumps right there out of the turbo. So I'm leaning towards the head gasket, but you know, I hadn't really even put any pressure on this thing. About 5 PSI boost, but this is a 2000 Dodge Ram motor that's never been apart. So talking 20-year-old head gasket. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull all the plugs, pull the FiTech power, and do some compression tests. Okay, so magic of editing. Sparkulators are out. I went ahead and took them all out because I just wanted to look at them all. For one, they're in order as they came out. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and 1, 3, 5, 7. Now, this one, see there's liquid in there. That is water. It has nothing else that can be. It has no scent. Alright, so there's water. Those all look rich. And then I took the radiator cap off and it popped. Whole bunch of pressure in there. Car hadn't been run since yesterday. Tons of pressure under the cap. So next up, dipstick. This oil has 10 miles, 15, no, about 20 miles on it, and it looks like it has a kind of almost a gray color to it. So still leaning towards head gasket. I'm thinking in passenger side, odd side. Okay, so let's talk compression testing real quick. A lot of guys here already know this, but for the new guys, young guys, just gonna run through it real quick. This is a compression tester. You're gonna be testing for the amount of pounds per square inch of pressure that's created in the cylinder, the engine cylinder. And this is attached just by hand screwing it on. It has an O-ring, so it seals. You don't have to use a wrench to put it on. But this goes where the spark plug was in the engine. Turn the engine over 3 or 4 times and you'll build pressure. Now, the cylinder that's going to have problems is going to have a lower pressure than the rest of them, but you should generally have all 8 cylinders are going to be real close as far as pressure. So if it's 180 psi, it should be pretty much 180 psi on every single cylinder. So I'm actually going to start with the one that I think is damaged, and I'll start with number 6. And I'm going to go ahead and get a piece of paper and we'll write down all of our pressures here. I'm going to use a start switch, start trigger start, trigger gun. And instead of using a key, since I'm here by myself, I'm going to hook this up and just turn the engine over using this. I still have to unplug my power to my FiTech. The key's not on, so it really doesn't matter. I'm just going to unplug it anyways though. Alright, compression tester is hooked up, zeroed out, number 6. Got my trigger in my hand, hooked up to the starter relay. So we'll go ahead and hit this thing, let it roll over a few times, see what we get. There you go, almost 210 PSI. The radiator's barking. You hear that? So it's getting some, it seems to be getting some blow by from one of the cylinders. But that's an unknown mileage engine, 20 years old. Not bad. Gotta figure out who the bad guy is though. I'm gonna switch cylinders. I'm gonna go back to number 8. Okay, compression tester is now on number 8, and you can see there's a drop of water on the manifold from when I pulled the tester out. Also, number 6 was the only one with a spark plug, so that was the only one making combustion, and we were getting pressure in the radiator. So anyway, see what number 8 has to say. $90. And as that was going on, there was water coming out of number 6, out of the spark plug hole. You can see puffs coming out right there. So that is not good. Numero 4. Number 2. That's terrible. Number 1. Number 3. Number 5. Number 7. Okay, back on the passenger side, number 8. I was gonna put some oil down in the hole, but I don't have like a oil can or anything. So I got the big shot, sprayed some stuff down in number 8. See if we can make some more pixies per square inch. We were at 90, this was the one that was really low. Let's see what we can do here. Same. So what I was trying to do was see if it would seal the rings, and didn't make any difference. So, and there's still stuff coming out of number 6. All right, so we got some information. Not good information, not good news, but information. Got some low cylinders, and when I was testing number 8 with the blaster in there, the hose was getting sprayed with water from number 6. I know I've said it a bunch of times, but water's coming out of number 6. This right here is wet from number 6. So pretty sure the next step is going to be to pull the cylinder heads. It's 6:30. Time to go eat. So I'm going to save pulling the cylinder heads for another day, and I will see y'all for that. All right, new day. Back out here. Already did a little bit of work. Pulled the both the turbo pipes off. Let's go ahead and show you real quick. A little raspy for some reason. Inside, that looks like brand new, untouched, clean, beautiful. So this side of the turbo also beautiful, nothing leaking through the oil seal there. On the back side, looks like water, not oil. Doesn't look like we have any oil. What it's looking like is, you can see the rust right there. I just popped that little bubble and it's just water. And I think what I got on the floor there is some water coming through the engine, through the exhaust. Water shot down, just all the soot and stuff on the floor there. If you didn't see that video, that's what I'm talking about. All that came out of the exhaust. But next up, I went ahead and bought an oil can. So I'm gonna put some oil in there, put some oil down in the cylinders, recheck our compression, and see if we can boot the compression up any. And what that's gonna do, just like I did on the other one, but what it's gonna do is see if we can build the compression up. Also, what I'm gonna do, I think I can take the valve out of the end of this. I don't have a leak down tester, but I think I can take that little Schrader valve out and hook this up to my air hose. We can put all the cylinders up on top dead center, test each individual one by putting air pressure to it with the air hose. What I can do with that is hook the air to it, make sure the valves are closed, and listen, see if I have bubbles coming out of the radiator, see if I have noise coming out of the exhaust, or noise coming out of the intake, or noise coming out of the crankcase. So check those 4 things, see if it gives us an idea of what we're looking at, and then go ahead and pull the heads off probably. Okay, so the other day, number 8 was one of the ones that was low on compression. I went ahead and put 3 big squirts of oil in there. I'm gonna see if it boosted up a little bit, and also it's been sitting for about 4 or 5 days. So let's see if number 6 spits water out. Okay, so this one had 95 in it the other day with 3 squirts of oil in there. We're at 80, so that's actually worse than it was the other day. Okay, so I'm skipping over 6 and 4. They had decent compression the other day. Number 2 was also low, I think 75 or something. Let's see what we can do. I put about 4 squirts of motor oil in it. 90. So I was able to get my little Schrader valve out of my compression tester, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw some air to these cylinders, see what happens. Went ahead and snatched the valve cover off. I have a little hose plugged in here, tight. I'm gonna go ahead and hook air to it. I've got about 80 PSI on this regulator for my tank. So both the valves are closed. And the only issue that I might have is sometimes when you do this, it'll push the cylinder down and rotate the engine over, open your valves. So hopefully we don't have that happen. Okay, so I got 100% here pressure coming out of the water. You can hear it bubbling. I don't know if you can hear it, but bubble, bubble. Try another cylinder. All right, hard for me to maybe show you because it's pushing the intake valve open. But when I get this intake valve closed, you can hear it coming out of the crankcase. Right there. You can hear it pushing right into the crankcase. And then also hear it bubbling. So, all right, so I think that's gonna be enough diagnosis. No, I didn't check every single cylinder. I could have. If you're doing this job, you can do it. Whatever you wanna do, I feel comfortable that it's a head gasket. I think that we're not gonna have any ring issues based on the compression test I did with dry versus wet. So I don't think we have issues there. I think it's solely the head gasket, I hope. I'm gonna drain the water to get the intake manifold off, start pulling the heads. See you guys in a minute. That was terrible. The petcock on the radiator, for whatever reason, wouldn't drain. So we did that. All water, no coolant. Okay, looks like everything's loose. Went ahead and broke loose the intake bolts with a ratchet and then used the drill to run them the rest of the way out. Just saves time. I do have the fan running, so sorry about that if y'all are getting a little bit of noise, but intake looks like it's about ready to come off. Distributor doesn't have to come out. Mopar stuff, we don't have to pull the distributor, so I think I got it. I think we can go ahead and pull them bolts and pull it off. Intake manifold off. Thing looks super clean except for this water right here. It's no good. But let's look at the runners. So let's actually look at the runners on the side that's giving us trouble. There's water in there. Number 6. All those look clean. They actually look like new. Look at that. That thing looks like new. This motor is 20 years old. The heads have never been off. All right, so that's one of the things I'm thinking about. The head gaskets are just old. So this engine was on this truck. This engine was in Big Red for 3 years, and then sat on the engine stand for 5 years. And I'm thinking, just sitting on the engine stand with no lubricants, no nothing in it, maybe the cylinder head gaskets, I don't know, something happened to them. I don't know. And then we put just a little bit of boost to it, pressured them. Went ahead and took all the rocker arms off, took push rods out. I have them laying here. So you see I have an arrow pointing forward. These are in order as they came out, so they can go in exactly the same as they came out. Also, I do loosen the bolts in the same sequence that they're supposed to be torqued. I just like to do that. It's the way I was taught a long time ago. There goes the waterfall. What a mess that made. So, first glance, I'm not seeing anything. You can tell there was water in this one and this one because of the rust. As far as where, I don't see anything just yet. Also down here, you can see there's rust in number 2. I don't know if that light's doing any good or not. It just doesn't look like anything obvious anyways. Okay, I'm gonna pull the next one off, get the water out of here, and then let's take another look. None of these have rust in them like the other one, so I'll go ahead and pull those gaskets off. Let's take a better look at those. Clean out the cylinders, the water. Take a look at the cylinders. Alright, so a quick little reference here. Started at 1 o'clock doing the testing and stuff, and then started tear down at 2 o'clock, and now it's 3:39. We're all tore down. I rolled it over, spit the water out. I'm gonna dry it up some more. But I wanted to show you guys, it's like milkshake right here. So you see oil and water on that cylinder. But let me go ahead and dry them all the way up and then see what we can find. Okay, so I hooked this up with a light on our GoPro. Let's do some inspecting, see what we got. So, what I was wanting to see is if there's any scratches from like a broke piston ring, which I don't think, based on our compression test, I don't think that's an issue. Those things look really nice. I was pointing the light instead of the camera there. You gotta do both. So, let's see. All those look good. And I'm gonna roll it over just a little bit and we can check some more. Let's see. All right. So now this one, no scratches, crosshatch in there still. And mud in that one. Let's need a rag to wipe that one out better since it's all dirty. All right. Been out here a little while, just checking over everything over and over and over. And I just don't see anything obvious. Nothing, no cylinders cracked, no blowouts of the head gasket between water jackets. We do have this water up here with the oil, which makes me want to, you know, lean towards the head gasket. Same deal over here. No blowouts, no cracked cylinders. Everything looks good. No scratches in the cylinders like a piston ring. Cylinder head, nothing obvious. You know, everything looks pretty normal. And then what I do want to do is get a valve spring tool. I don't have one. Get the valve spring tool, take these apart, see if there's any cracks in it. Just check everything over and over. Head gaskets, a couple little areas look kind of damaged, but nothing just obvious that says this is the problem. Now also, when I was doing my leak down test and I put the air to the cylinders, we had we had air bubbling out of our water, which makes me think still a head gasket. Now maybe there is a crack in the head or something, I don't know, but I'm going to check that as much as I can. I might even take it to the machine shop, let them do the Magnum flux or whatever, but have them test it, see if there's any cracks, and I think that's about it. If you guys can think of anything that I'm missing that I need to look at, whatever, put it in the comments, because I want to make sure we put this thing back together correctly and fixed. I don't want to have any issues when we go back together. As far as that goes, I think that's going to do it for today. I'm going to just keep working on this probably tomorrow, get these heads apart and see if I can find anything. But yeah, I'm going to go in there and cook. It's that time, but hope you guys enjoyed. Yesterday it was 75 in North Florida. Now it's like 55, but anyways, I was wearing shorts yesterday. All right, guys, that's going to do it.